Hey guys, I'm sitting here with the Bambu A1 combo and the coolest desk on the face of the planet, my Flexi Spot desk. Let's bring it down. Once you have unboxed and assembled your A1 combo, you will need to set the printer up. We will go through that process right now. Bambulab was kind enough to send over an assortment of their filament for this video, so we will go ahead and work with these. You may go ahead and work with the filament of your choice. With your A1 plugged in, go ahead and turn it on. Go ahead and press start to unleash your creativity. Choose your language, choose your region, and set up your Wi-Fi network. This is not my actual network, but I will cover it anyway. With your password typed in, press connect. It will say connecting and connected. A link will pop up. You will press that link. If you haven't already, go ahead and download the Bambu Handy app on your phone. Open the app and create an account. Then, proceed to scanning this code. This will open the Bambu Handy app, showing you logged into your account. You will then see your printer preparing for bind. Click on the read and accept and press confirm to bind. Like an action movie with a ticking time bomb, I successfully bound with 4 seconds left on the clock. This will bring up the printer on your Bambu Handy app. At this point, you can go ahead and give it a fancy name. Do this by touching the 3 dots, touching device name, and erasing the name and inserting its new name. In honor of one of my favorite consoles, I will name it Xbox A1. Press save. You will now see the device's name is Xbox A1 and the machine is waiting to do a bunch of calibrations. However, looking in the app, you will see there is a firmware required. Since we recommend running full calibration after firmware updates, to save ourselves some redundancy, let's do that firmware update first and then run these setup calibrations. In case you missed it, from the home screen on your Handy app, press the 3 dots, look down to firmware version. You will see that red dot indicating there is an update required. Touch it, and here you will see showing the current firmware and the latest firmware, plus the green button that says update. Go ahead and press that button now. Press update now. Your screen will confirm the update is now taking place. You will see this on your A1 screen and on your Handy screen. You will see on your screen and on your phone that the update is complete. The phone will show your A1 printer and your AMS LITE. Go ahead and press the back arrow to return to the home screen. Back to our screen, press the back button. The screen is asking us to scan a QR code yet again. You may skip this. However, if you are curious what the latest firmware update does, you may scan this QR code. The link will open up to a Bambu wiki explaining to you the latest updates to this firmware. Go ahead and press the back arrow. Press the back arrow again. And here we are at the main screen of the A1. You will notice it did not prompt you to run the calibrations. However, we will need to do that now. Touch on settings, touch the down arrow, touch on maintenance, touch on calibration, and you will recognize this screen from the initial setup. With all the boxes checked, go ahead and press start. You will notice that not only does the screen on your AMS inform you of what's happening right now, the screen on your Bambu Handy app will as well. During this stage, you will notice your A1 is vibrating like crazy. This is normal. You will also notice, by looking at your Bambu Handy app, that your bed temperature is 65 degrees Celsius. If your printer is not on fire, this is a good indication that your print bed heater is functioning. As the A1 moves into its cleaning nozzle tip phase, you'll notice on your screen on the Handy app that the nozzle has now been heated. Again, if your printer is not on fire, this is a good indication that your hot end is working. Those of you who come from the older days of 3D printing probably have PTSD when it comes to bed leveling. Knobs, installing probes, paper, Z offset, oh my lord. That's a thing of the past. This is what the bed leveling process looks like today. Your printer will do an auto bed leveling mesh and set up the Z offset all by itself. With the calibration complete, your Bambu Handy app and the screen will show calibration complete. To continue, go ahead and touch the screen. You are all set. Press go, which promptly pops up a hint instructing you to lubricate the Y-axis guide rails. There is a QR code which will bring you to their wiki to instruct you on how to do it. We are going to do it together. Bambu instructs you to use lubricating oil rather than lubricating grease. In the past, they may have suggested lubricating grease, and there may even be lubricating grease on your A1. Bambu instructs us to remove the grease and go forward using lubricating oil. This oil is included with your printer. Should you lose this oil, you may go ahead and use WD-40 multi-purpose oil in place of it. Let's go ahead and apply some of the lubricating oil provided by Bambulab on our new A1 printer. Snip the tip of your oil. Slide the print bed forward by gently pushing on the back. Remove the cover by pulling up and pulling back. According to Bambu, very minimal oil is applied prior to shipment because of concerns that the oil will drip and get all over other components during shipment. If you discover there is grease on your rails, use a cloth, such as a Scott's Blue Shop cloth, and remove that grease from these rails. My A1 rails are dry. Here we are looking at the official Bambulab video for oiling the A1. You can see he is wiping down anything that came shipped with the printer. Then using the oil, getting it into that little groove that's on the side of the rail. He's then spreading it using the underside of the actual oil tube. I feel like wiping this with a soft cloth might do a better job. However, that's what they're doing, and you can go ahead and do it this way if you please. There he is, beating it in the channel of that rail, then spreading it with the bed. I did this a slightly different way by tilting the printer on its side to help make sure it didn't run too much. Let's have a look. Putting a little oil inside the groove, using the bottom in an effort to spread it, and then using the bed. Keep in mind, you will oil both left and right rail towards the front and towards the back. With the oiling done, go ahead and place the cover back on your A1. Now that you've handled oil, make sure your hands are clean and consider taking a Scots Blue shop cloth, some IPA, and wiping down your bed to remove any potential oils or grease from that bed. This is a great idea, even if you haven't handled oils, because we don't know what this print bed has been through since manufacturing and on its trip from China to your workshop. As an additional step, I'm also going to suggest that after wiping it down with some alcohol, you also wipe it down with some bottled or filtered water. We don't want you using hard water full of minerals. Use a good quality water, bottled or filtered. If you have to use tap water, go ahead. Wipe it down really good. Unlike the alcohol, the water won't evaporate immediately. It will stay and allow you to scrub it really good, giving it time to dissolve impurities and allowing you to absorb them into your towel, rather than having the alcohol just evaporate instantly, placing all the impurities back on your bed. Now that your bed is clean, let's continue our setup. Turn the printer back on and head over to your computer. On your computer, go to bambulab.com, download and install Bambu Studio. Once Bambu Studio is installed, open it up and you will be greeted with this screen. From this screen, mouse up here to prepare and click on prepare. If this is your initial use of Bambu Studio, you will be prompted with the printer screen. However, if you are not, simply go from printer and click on this gear. You will scroll down and look for the Bambulab A1. I have the 0.4 nozzle installed. This is the stock nozzle. Go ahead and click that. If you plan to install other nozzles, go ahead and click those too. When you're done, press confirm. You will return to this screen. On the left, you will have a pull-down menu showing all of your available chosen printers. Click on that pull-down menu and simply scroll and look for your Bambulab A1 with the 04 nozzle. Click on that. You will now see Bambulab A1 with 04 nozzle is selected. The default bed is the textured PEI bed. I do recommend swapping this out for a smooth PEI plate. This will give you better bed adhesion. For now, you'll be working with the stock textured PEI plate. And you should see on your screen, it says Bambu textured PEI plate. This here is the back of the bed. This here is the front of the bed. You can also tell based on the colored arrows being in the front left from your perspective. To further confirm your A1 is set up properly, you may go here and click on Device. From here, you will see a list of your available printers. Go ahead and click this pull down and you will find your A1 printer should be online as indicated by this little green circle. Go ahead and select it. From here, you can see it does recognize the A1 printer with an AMS installed. Once this printer is selected, everything below it is in association to that printer. For example, currently highlighted is status. If you are printing, these fields will be populated with the current status of that print job. Below that is your micro SD card. There is nothing currently on that card. Below that are updates. Here you can see if you need a firmware update for your A1 or your AMS LITE. Should there be an update available for your AMS or your A1, it will be available via a highlightable button right here. Go ahead and return to prepare. You are ready to use Bambu Studio with your new A1 combo. Let's go back to our printer. With everything set up and configured, it is now time to load our filament and prepare for our first test print. It is worth noting that Bambulab recommends positioning the AMS LITE on the right side of the A1 printer. However, when looking at their imagery, they are indicating the actual left side of the AMS printer. If you are looking in the direction of the printer, the AMS will be sitting on the screen side, which is the left side of the printer. It's only the right side of the printer if you are facing the printer, but that is not typically how we orientate things. So go ahead and put your AMS LITE on the screen side of the A1 printer. Let's go ahead and load our AMS. I'm going to start with a matte blue PLA. Locate the tape at the end of the roll and peel it up. Be careful not to release the end of this filament. Go ahead and take your clippers and snip the end of the filament. Not at a crazy angle or any weird thing like that. That's a bunch of hooey. Just snip it flat. When handling filament, be very careful not to release the end for any reason. If you have to release the end, feed it through one of these holes first in the side of the spool. If you are to release this filament, it can back spool, causing the filament to loosen up like this. And then what happens is the end here can accidentally slip underneath itself, which then causes a twist or a tangle in the line. And as it turns, that twist or tangle will tighten until the spool can no longer turn and you're now stuck, unable to print. You then will need to feed the end of the filament from underneath itself until it can freely roll again without any twists or tangles. We avoid this by not letting it slack, always holding the end. We will start on spool 1. That's right here. The feeder for spool 1 is this right here. So we will feed upside down. Simply place the spool over the mount and push it in. You will not feel or hear any clicks or thumps. However, you will feel it spin freely and you will be able to tell that it's on there pretty firmly. With the printer on, you will feed the filament up into this hole. Depress this button with your thumb and feed the filament up into the feeder. Once you feel the filament move upward about an inch, you will hear the feeder start to operate and it will load the filament to the position it wants it in. Because this is a Bambu filament, it does have the chip on it. If you look at your handy app, you will notice the first slot in the AMS has automatically been marked as populated with blue filament. We will repeat the process for number 2, as labeled right here, by firmly pressing our next color. I will use green. Depressing the button to disengage the teeth, and feeding the green up into the feeder. You will notice in your app, green has now populated slot 2. Repeat this process for 3 and 4. You will see on your app all the colors have populated. Here on the A1 screen, you may touch filament and you will see all of your slots, 1, 2, 3, and 4, indicating the correct filaments. It's worth noting, none of this is necessary and you may manually set them when you send prints from Bambu Studio. However, this is a nice perk of using Bambu filaments. With our printer assembled, configured, and full of filament, we can now send a test print. This can be done from Bambu Studio, which is how you will be doing it going forward. However, the machine also came with some pre-installed test files on its memory card. You can go ahead and send one of those right now just to watch your fancy toy work. To do that, click on Print Files and you will see all the available prints on your machine. There are quite a few options, but we are going to go ahead and choose Speedboat, which is mostly known as a Benchy. Make sure Use AMS is highlighted. We do not need bed leveling since we just recently did it. And since this is our first print, we can do dynamic flow calibration. If this was not my first print, I probably wouldn't use that. So we'll leave that on. Unlike printers of the past, the time-lapse feature on Bambulab printers is very easy and works very well, so you might as well leave it on. Go ahead and touch time-lapse. You will now see it is activated. One final thing to check before sending a print is to look right here. This is the A1 camera, and you will see there is a protective film over it. Go ahead and remove that. With the camera now exposed, you are able to monitor your print or create a time-lapse at any time. Even when doing single color prints, you will always have Use AMS selected. Go ahead and press Next. The AMS is going to print using slot 3, which will be white. If you'd like to make a blue Benchy, go ahead and choose slot 1 by touching the screen. Then go ahead and press Print. The temperature of the print. Thank you. Here you can see the current temperature of the print bed, the current temperature of the nozzle, and the fact that it is recording a time lapse. Below you will see the percentage of the print, the percentage of the speed that you are printing. If this was sliced in the slicer at 100 millimeters a second, 100% equals 100 millimeters per second. You will generally leave this as is. And here is the speed of the fan. Again, this is controlled by the G-code, by the programming of the sliced model, and will be adjusted automatically during print. Unlike other machines, the target temperature is not shown on this screen. To see it, simply touch a temperature icon. Here you will see the target temperature of 250, the current temperature of 240. The bed temperature, target 65, current 46. Pressing back will return you to the home screen. If you would like that progress screen back, simply touch the screen again. You may also turn the light on or off. There is the light, there is the light off. Pressing the back arrow, and here we are at the home screen, where we can stay for the remainder of the print, or of course, you can leave it right here. Whatever works for you. Once the printer is up to temperature, it will prime and clean the nozzle, and then it will begin the print. My printer just created its very first poop. Oh, and there is its very second poop. Yes, this is normal. Now that the print has begun, you can also monitor it using the Bambu Handy app or Bambu Studio on your computer. In the event you open Bambu Studio and you cannot see your video feed, click this little green arrow right here. This will turn on your video feed. Looking to the right, you can see your blue, black, green, and white filaments in the AMS, and you can see that the blue one is headed to the extruder, to the tool head, and printing. From this screen, you may pause or stop the print. With the screen open, you are then able to leave the screen and do whatever you wish, and it will not affect the printing model in any way, shape, or form. And there you have it, your very first test print on the Bambulab A1 printer. Just like that, you have successfully assembled, set up, calibrated, configured, and test printed your Bambulab A1 3D printer. Now it's time to learn how to use Bambu Studio and get to work. You are on the 3D Rundown YouTube channel. I'm Great Adventure, your instructor on 3drundown.com and bamburundown.com, and setting up test printing the Bambulab A1 3D printer was today's adventure.
Hey.